So like I don't have to be that guy. Like I can step up and tell people, and they'll listen to me because they see what I can do.
We can see that just in interacting with us. Do you feel more comfortable, speaking up and being more of a leader?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I feel more comfortable with talking, being a leader.
Getting used to Champaign-Urbana a little bit, or that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you got your places now to go and all that?
Yeah, I got little spots and stuff to go now. Yeah.
So you were talking about it's a little more fun because you know everything, right? You got an idea where things are and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
What's your go-to spot?
I was just saying Neil Street Blues. I like that shit.
I don't know. I came a little bit late, so sorry if I missed it. But what was it like to see Coach Bielema, fly to Oakland, to try to recruit you for another year? What was that experience like?
It was shocking because it was at night, and I didn't know they were coming. So the family was just chilling. We was like watching a little movie, and we got like a little ring camera. And my dad was like, "Somebody at the door," and it was Coach B and Coach Bell and Pat and I think it was somebody I don't know, but. They were all there. They was like, "We came here to talk to you about the LSU." I'm like, "Okay, it's serious now."
So that guy left Christmas Day, or a couple days before Christmas, and he didn't let you know he was flying to Oakland, California.
Nah, he didn't let me know. It was a surprise, basically.
What was the first thing you thought?
I was like, "This is crazy." I just left. I was just chilling with the family. I was like, "This is crazy. Like, he really out here talking about this. He really want me to come back."
I mean, after that pitch, how tough was your decision from there?
Oh, it was real tough. I feel like I didn't make it until like a few days before the game because I still was thinking about it because like he said, like when your dream this close, you like I could be there. Like no matter what round, you need the opportunity just to be there, be on the team. But like I just was like I feel like I made the right decision.
Did that go a long way? Like him coming, do you think that kind of helped push you towards coming to Illinois for that?
Yeah, because it showed how much he really cared, how much he really wanted me to be there and stuff like that.
I don't know if we've talked to you since the Northwestern game. Like I remember, even last season, like physicality of the run game was something you wanted to improve on. Then you moved that Northwestern lineman like 15 yards. Like how much did that kind of back up everything you would put on your box and check?
I feel like that was just like the writing it off. That was probably like the best play I had all year. That was 15. I dropped like 15 yards down the field, pancaked them, scored a touchdown. It was a great feeling.
Appreciate you, JC.
JC, I'm watching like the younger guys like Michael McDonald and Mike McDonald and Gavin today go up against like Gabe, and they get beat. I mean, you remember what that was like 4 or 5 years ago, where you're supposed to lose that as an 18, 19-year-old. What have you tried to let young guys know about how things are done here?
Because like for like a young guy like them, you got to see like he's like one of the elite pass rushers of the Big Ten. So like going up against him, that's a great opportunity for you to learn and see what you could do against him and get some of the best. So like don't be bad at yourself for losing against him. Like that's supposed to happen. No, it's not supposed to happen. It's gonna happen.
I feel like it's an old O-line coach trick where it's like you're not supposed to win that. You're supposed to learn by getting your
exactly
beat on that.
Exactly, because the more you get beat, the more you're gonna learn from me. Like okay, don't do that against him. Do this. Like get my hands on him. Like hit him, punch him. Like be more physical at the point of attack with him. Like stuff like that.
What are you trying to get out of this spring? Because I know that a lot of things in the spring are supposed to translate to the fall, but there's this big gap between the end of spring practice and the start of August.
Just being better with my hands, like my hand placement, my strikes, and just like switching up my sets more a little bit, like because making sure guys can't get like a tell or a read on me and what I'm going to do, stuff like that.
Have you noticed? Because I know when you started playing at New Mexico, like there was only one O-line coach out there, and he had to deal with all of you guys. There's like 2 or 3 guys now that you guys can get individual. You guys can get individual coaching when you need it. It just seems like there's a lot more one-on-one type stuff going on right now.
Yeah. I feel like that's helpful to like to get, especially for like the younger guys too, because it's so much. We doing so much indie. Like the older guys, we already know what we doing. Sometimes the Coach Miller or Coach Bill can't tell them. So like sometimes we can pull them off to the side and tell them like what's going on, like what they need to correct and what they need to fix.
What I would really say helped a lot.
Yeah, you talk about confidence. I'm curious how you balance that when things are tough and maybe games don't go as well, but you also know the reps are coming. So how do you stay level?
Just knowing that my work ethic, and the time that I spend, recovering my body and going out and putting extra time in, that's eventually going to come and help for sure.
I think it's this time of the spring where you get a little competition with each other, where the off season's a lot of individual. I mean, how important is that in kind of the iron sharpening iron?
No, I was a wrestler, so that I definitely take iron sharpens iron. Like that's definitely a big key factor to this, and so I think it's big, being able to be competitive. That brings the best out of you. Being tough, smart, and dependable with those guys. So for sure.
They've empowered you with snaps and a role at a relatively young age. Like, what's that do for you when your coaches pour that into you and give you that opportunity?
Like I said before, it brings confidence. That's kind of what I take from that. Yeah.
J-Mo, we always hear about like, attention to detail with him. Like, what makes him so good, and what is that attention to detail?
Like I said before, it's locking in on the small fundamentals. Doing the small thing right. So when big moments come, you're not overtaken by those moments.
Alex, were you an early enrollee for spring, or did you show
No,
up for fall?
Yeah, I came up. I came in June.
Okay.
So, during summer workouts and stuff like that.
Was there a moment like in your first fall camp where like you're like, okay, I can do this? Because there's always that hesitation of like, I got it. This is another level. You always have that doubt.
Yeah,
Did that leave for you like in fall camp?
I would say, that it takes time, and especially, it's like being a freshman, the game moves a lot quicker. But now that you peep the backfield, it slows it down. And so like when, the back's away, I know the fan block's coming towards me most likely. So if you take, key factors like that, definitely say it helps build up my confidence for sure.
I'm just looking at you and like maybe like a Cameron Brooks, where it's like the light bulb's going to turn on eventually. And I imagine that fall camp before your freshman season, like the light bulb came on and you were like, wait a minute, I'm gonna be on the field.
Yeah.
They're asking me to help right now.
Yeah, no, it's definitely no one's really ever ready until that moment.
Right.
The moment comes. So I definitely there's always nerves before you get on the field, but nerves are good. That means you care about it. So the confidence is it's coming.
Is there technique things that you're trying to get out of spring? Because I know there's that gap between the end of spring and August where camp rises up again that sometimes it just doesn't translate, but is there things you want to get done?
No, I want to work on better extension.
Okay.
Locking guys out, using my length in my arms, and I want to also develop a secondary move on pass rush to be able to get past the bigger guys and stuff like that.
Thanks. What might sound like a really dumb question, but you have a new holder now. Do you have to kind of get used to the operation a little bit with a newer guy?
Yeah, I think it makes a big difference, like holding wise and having a new guy. Obviously, Keelan's, I think he's done a really, really good job, especially with kind of like not holding for the previous two schools that he's been at. But no, I think he's done an unbelievable job, and obviously it takes a little bit to adjust to a new guy. But I think with the work that we've all been putting in, like it's kind of helping out. So
what's your take on spring and the whole operation this
I think it's
spring?
smooth. I think we're building on to the success that we kind of had last year. I think with Lane, he just keeps improving a good amount, and obviously Keelan's kind of going into the role like as smooth as he can, and I think we've just kind of been flowing at a very good pace right now, and I think we're just kind of building on from last year.
Apologize, this is another dumb question.
Yeah.
But when you get a windy night like this, what are you kind of trying to do? I mean, like it just seemed like coming. I don't know if that's the north side or whatever, but the band side, the one side the band sits.
Yeah.
You were trying them from like 58 just to see with the wind at your back, just what that feels like.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't think anything changes really with the wind. It's kind of funny enough, like a kick that you maybe kick 40 yards will give you 20 yards with that kind of wind that we had yesterday, but nothing really changes in your approach, really. Maybe against the wind, but with the wind, you just kind of have to let it ride and trust your swing. But I think, tonight, I think both of us did a pretty good job with the conditions that we had.
It's interesting because the guys that came before you, like I've asked them about how they had to get used to the wind of Memorial Stadium, just the way it swirls. It doesn't really go one way, but because of the way that the stadium's shaped, it just kind of circles in a little bit.
I've played, obviously was able to get out my freshman year and play at some away stadiums in last year, and I don't think anything compares to Memorial just because how the stadium is, wind coming from different ways, but I think definitely practicing in these conditions like we do, and these past conditions that we've kind of been in the last couple practices kind of helps us kind of in those late November games when conditions kind of get rough. So
I've asked you this before, but with Robbie really not being a kicking guy, who do you kind of run it through
Yeah.
when you need to kind of get a reset or just have a guy fresh eyes look at you?
Yeah, I got two guys. I got Chris Nednick, who's my local guy.
Okay.
So he comes up, and sometimes he's from Chicago, and then Adam Tanowski. He's a guy coming out of kind of located in Florida, where I gotta go out to them as much as I can, just kind of tune up some things, and also just send them film whenever I have anything for them to look at, and they help a major ton.
How have you tried to? Well, I'll get you out on this. Is how have you, with Keelan being a newer guy? I
Yeah.
mean, he's coming from a Big Ten program,
Right.
so he kind of knows the operation, he knows
Yeah.
the deal, knows what it's like to be at a Big Ten program. But
Yeah.
have you tried to kind of walk him through how things are done here and
Yeah.
how things are, what the expectations are
Yeah,
here?
I think at any school you go to, anything's a little different, and I think here's the way us specialists kind of do things. I think it's at a very good level. I mean, there's a reason why we have so many successors at this position, because Coach B kind of does a really good job kind of maintaining us at a good level. So just kind of he knows a lot, but just telling him like, hey, don't overkick, and maybe he's been out of school where you guys getting kicked a lot, but like over here, we valuable reps, and rather take less reps with valuable more concentration over just a bunch of kicks.